Father's love, everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to read Proverbs, chapter 1. So kick back, relax, and let's see what we can learn today. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear, and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb, and the interpretation, the words of the wise, and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, Come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose to fear the Lord. They would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For their turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Let's do a review. Start at Proverbs verses 2 through 1 verse. Proverbs 1 verses 2 through 5. We learn that to know wisdom and instruction, and to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear, and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. You know, wisdom, I think, is one of those things that, first of all, we have to seek it and ask for it. And then I think we get it in doses, I guess would be one way to put it. As it says here, it's given subtly to the simple, and then the young man, knowledge and discretion. And then a wise man will hear and increase in learning. And then a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. So it's a progress. And how do we start to progress? Well, in verse 7 it tells us the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. You know, that's one thing I learned early on in my journey is when the Father broke me and I realized the almighty power that He has, the reverence that I had for Him at that moment. It truly was the beginning of my knowledge, even though I didn't know it yet. So don't be a fool. Don't despise wisdom and instruction. The worst thing we can do with wisdom is to think we have it. Because we will never stop growing in wisdom. A wise man, I think, constantly pursues wisdom and instruction. I've been instructed many times. I didn't always like it, but when I was willing to listen and put my emotions to the side and listen to the instructions and follow through, it just moved up to another level. And then we read warnings in verses 10 and 15, 16. It says, My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. You know, we have to constantly strive to stay away from the sin, not follow the sinners. That's why we have the Spirit, to give us the strength to overcome the sin, so that we don't have to walk in their ways, and we can keep our feet from their path, because they're running to evil, and we don't want to run to evil. We want to run to the Father. And here's what's going to happen. Or here's what wisdom cries out. How long, simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my Spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. You don't want to be there, brothers and sisters. If we turn, if we repent, if we follow Jesus, if we turn at the reproof, He will pour out His Spirit unto us, and it will make known His words unto us. But if He calls and we refuse, if He stretches out our hand and you don't regard it, if you set at naught all His counsel and not listen to His reproof, then this is what befalls you. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then you'll call upon him, but he will not answer. You'll seek him early, but you won't find him, because you hated knowledge, and you didn't choose to fear the Lord. You wouldn't listen to his counsel, and you despised all of his reproof. Therefore you're going to eat the fruit of your own ways, and be filled with your own devices. For the turning away of the simple is going to slay you, and the prosperity of fools will destroy them. So I don't know about you, but I want to listen to the reproof, the counsel, the knowledge. I don't want to wait till it's too late to seek him and not find him. Because if we do listen, we find out in the last verse, whosoever hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. That's where I want to be, brothers and sisters. I want to hearken unto him, and dwell safely, and be quiet from the fear of evil. And it's achievable, I know. I don't fear any evil anymore. Yeah, the enemy never gives up. He always tries. And physically and worldly, he does what he can do. But when those things stop mattering, and spiritual things matter much more, what is there to be fearful of? I hope this truly blesses each and every one of you who listen to it. I ask that you continue to pray for the children out there, all around the world. Pray for your fellow brothers and sisters as they embark on this journey. And pray for your enemies and those that are still lost and stumbling, that they too might see the light. Don't forget to spend some time alone with the Father and the Son and the Spirit, and get to know them. They've got a lot to teach you. Are you willing to listen and obey what they have to say? I'll see you next time.